Hello everyone, it's Inque here, and we're back with Sacrifice of Angels. And it is once again Klingon o'clock. So, what does this mean? Well, it means we need to start building D7s.
We do not have enough warriors.
And we need to get our basic research up, as per usual. So here we go, one of each. And now we can talk about what we've actually got here. So, Klingons. Our basic frigate is the D7. It's like the pre-upgrade, old school, original series era Katinga. They have some damage, they're pretty aggressive. Then over here we have the Vodley class, which is basically a supersized D7. I believe this might be a Starfleet Command model, I could be wrong. So what can this thing do? We've got Colonize, we have Call to Battle, which actually summons in a couple of birds of prey, which warp out after a time, but some immediate boosts. And this is probably one of the most interesting heal abilities out there. Victory Feast. Your weapons go offline, your engines go offline, you can't use abilities, but you get a pretty sizable heal. This is something that you use to keep your fleet up and running between fights. So, that gives the Klingon fleet a little more staying power than you might necessarily expect. Let's go ahead and head up here, grab this Class D, and then we can go from there. So, Klingons. That's a brief idea of how their starting fleet works. What about the rest of it? Well, let's take a look at the tech tree. So, first of all, we get some basic upgrades right away. We want to grab the refit operations immediately because yes. And then in terms of how the tech tree goes, we have superior repair bots, so we can get more out of our shipyards. We have the D10, which I believe D10 is our anti-fighter vessel, which has it's just a flat-out improvement over the D7 in every way. But it is more expensive and it does use up more space, so that's something to bear in mind. Then at rank 2 we get the Burrell class, which is ludicrously dangerous by comparison. 93 pulse disruptor damage and all of those photons, and a few photons just to boot. It's not quite as tough, but they're fast and they're very dangerous. Then we've got the D11 for orbital bombardment. We get cavorts at rank 3, unlike all the way up here beforehand. Let's take a look at the cruisers over here. So, D11, the D7 Katinga class, which gives the D7s some additional firepower. We've got Feklers, Vorcha, Kron carriers, the Bird of Death battlecruiser, the Negvar. So there are a few familiar faces, but it's mostly a pretty different fleet. In terms of how it works, it's actually quite similar. You could even say that this is between Sacrifice of Angels and Star Trek Armada 3. These are the two factions which function most alike. They have a lot of burst fire damage. They are highly aggressive on the offense, but they're a little fragile on the defense. And it gets fine-tuned with Sacrifice of Angels. If you look at the actual Sacrifice of Angels page and see what they say about it. The big thing about the Klingons is that they do a lot of damage, they're great at coming in and murdering everything. But their ability to repair their fleet, keep it going, is sorely lacking. You can go in, take out an entire infrastructure, an entire system, and if you don't have the ability to go in and immediately claim it, entirely possible that you might actually have to just pull out when the reinforcements show up, because your fleet will be too battered. Now this makes the matchup an interesting one, because... oh, we lost a D7. We're up against the Dominion. Defensive faction extraordinaire. Let's get a replacement D7. And I want to start work on the D10 there. And get some other stuff going. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start some trip mining stuff. I want high density zoning, and we're going to start working on modular architecture, which will help us build up some forward bases and such like pretty quickly. Okay, so we've taken out all but one of these guys. I'm going to go ahead and trigger colonization on the asteroid here.
Another planet is ours.
Thank you, Martok. Now, this thing has bombardment weapons. It's going to go off and try to bomb this place out, which means it won't be shooting at my forces here. And it's certainly not going to have enough time to actually do anything before we kill it. So let's take a quick zoom out, see what our map looks like. So we've got a Class D asteroid there, a Class R planet.
Scouts have found a colonizable planet.
Huh, okay. Don't think I've seen one of those before. Then over here we have an H class. Then it starts getting messy. We have a Y class, which we can't actually colonize. That's just a few extractors. Don't know what this is. We've got an R class over here as well.
Structure complete.
Okay, so we've got a few easy things to grab here, but not sure how far that's actually going to go in practice. Let's go ahead and move our fleet through. Get ourselves another D7. Something else you'll notice, we have the D4 Predator as a scout, which actually is not a bad emergency warship. They build pretty quickly, they are incredibly cheap, and they have about half as much damage output as the D7, which means that in theory, if you're really starved for resources, you could get up a little fleet of these, and they could actually do something. In theory. But yeah, the Klingon scouts are more akin to the scouts in the base Sins of the Solar Empire, where it is actually viable to use them as a combat force in the early game. But with this particular setup, that means that we can go ahead and just go straight into military research. So we'll drop one of those there. Now, in terms of defenses, we have disruptor platforms. Let's go ahead and drop a couple of those to defend against marquee incursions.
Structure complete.
And I will do the same here. They do have a nice big range, which is something. That will cover all angles. If we look at our defense research, we've got an immediate boost to the rate of fire of these things. We can get hangar defenses right off the bat. And then we've got range boosts, and flak batteries for the platform, for the hangar bays. And then all the way up here we get heavy armor, and right up here we have disruptor overloads. So you can't actually get shields for these things like you can for the Romulan disruptor satellites. And we've got a couple of Katingas, D7s rather, these aren't Katingas, not yet. We can just send through to back that up. I've got a lot of spare resources available, so I'm going to go ahead and grab a logistics boost. Let's take a quick look at the elites though. So I've got the Vaudelaire, which is a pretty nice all-rounder. It's not as big and scary as some ships, but it's a decent offensive tool. The Kron, Bird of Death, and Negvar are all relatively high up in the tech tree. The Kvek, where's the Kvek?
Structure complete.
Let's let's see.
Another planet is
Here,
ours.
Cadet class battlecruiser. So all of these we need at least a level 5 yard to be able to actually access. So I'm going to go ahead and
Structure complete.
get Warrior Ancestry, and then we can look at building a second Quebec. I'm sorry, Vodley.
Structure complete.
Getting my terms mixed up. So, let's trade things around a little bit. There we go, so that's going to be a second Vodley, which we can use as a second colonizing fleet, or just some additional firepower. And you can see that we have the pirate base right here, kind of sitting in the middle of things, but I'm pretty sure we can bypass it by going around here. We will see. Meantime, we want to get some more scouts up. And we do have access to the D10 now. So I'm going to queue up one of those. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to cancel that briefly. There we go. Because we need to get the upgrades here. Sell some stuff. Lovely. One thread extractor. And that's in progress, so we will soon have that done, and we will have some really cheap things which we can just throw out.
Weapons ready.
Okay, so you should go scout, and I specifically want you to go there initially.
Complete.
You guys are gonna head over here. Excellent.
Planet development finished.
Okay, but let's get a couple of D10s up. Bit more firepower, a bit more resilience. And there we go, lovely.
Structure complete.
Are you actually part of a fleet? No, you're not. Okay, just checking. Occasionally these things get stupid. We have our Vodley, and we've got 5 D7s. Now here we have a Marauder, 4 Wanderers, 3 Interceptors, 2 Marquee Raiders, and a Pillager. That's way more firepower than I want to deal with, but we do have a nice easy Marquee Raider target down here, so let's head down there.
For the Empire.
And here we have our first D10. These guys are interesting because they actually have beams rather than the pulse disruptors, which everything else uses, so that's more just a point of interest more than anything actually factually useful, but I find it interesting. Okay, let's get the rest of our stuff up and running. Cool, and we have some spare resources running around, so build a couple more D10s, and then we want the Burrell research, so we can start getting some D12s out. I'm not actually sure where they get the D12 lovely, we've got a second Vodley. I'm going to go ahead and give that Victory Feast, so we have a repair power immediately available to us.
An experience best shared.
Without having to wait for this thing to actually rank up, because that's a little way off ranking up, but we will make it happen in due course. We should
Proceeding to warp.
grab
Scouts have found a colonizable
our disruptor
planet.
platforms, like so.
Battle has
Excellent.
begun.
So,
Our final duty will be done.
so we have our Class C planet here, which has a link over here. Let's see where that goes. Come on, okay, so scouts are not having a good time getting through there. They have in the past, but not this time, apparently. We do have a considerably bigger fleet, which we could probably look at taking this on at some point. But for right now, let's see, where's this go?
Scouts have found a colonizable
That links through there. That is a toxic world. Of course it does.
Go there.
Alright, let's go over here. I want to see if this links up.
Open hailing frequency.
Okay, and
Increase power to
you need to move that way.
engage
Excellent.
engines.
Alright, we have some spare resources, so let's go ahead and build up a mob of barrels for some additional punch.
Guess it better be over soon.
Oh, Marquis just showed up. Of course they did.
Weapons ready. Fire disruptors at will.
Okay, let's just turn around and burn these. It'll happen pretty quickly, and it'll get us a little extra experience.
Greythor will be paved with their ashes.
Lovely, and we have our first barrel coming up.
Yes, sir.
So, these not only have a lot of basic firepower, they have this fun little power. To Sto'vo'kor, boost to weapon cooldown, maximum speed, acceleration, and turn rate for 40 seconds.
Engaging warp drive.
So, these guys are pretty nasty. Like, the antimatter cost is fairly aggressive, so you're going to need to get some investment to really make heavy use of this. But you get a couple of you're going to get at least a couple of casts. Probably more, depending on how many jumps you've been doing. Yep, there we go. All dead.
Full power to engine.
Here we go. And
Structure complete.
I lost my train of thought. That was dumb. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, you're going to get a couple of casts of to Sto'vo'kor off, which will do a lot of damage up front. But again, if you get stuck in any kind of long-term battle, then you're going to start suffering.
Engaging warp drive.
Alright, so let's look at getting some weapon upgrades. That's phasers, that's torpedoes, and that is our disruptors. Let's go with the disruptors. We've got a fair amount of disruptor ships. The D10s will not benefit so much, but everything else, let's see. Yeah, everything else has pulse disruptors. Okay, they should jump as soon as this one gets in formation, and the others will just have to catch up. Okay, we do have the option of getting the D11, but I think I'm going to skip that, because I do have 2 capital ships for siege duties, and these things are not that great. They're better than the D10 and the D7 for raw firepower, but they're a little squishy, and they don't have nearly as much firepower as the D12.
Structure complete.
Weapons
Okay,
ready.
just warp.
New heading.
There we go. Let's go ahead and just get a couple more, fill up our capacity, and then we're going to build a couple of Klingon transports.
Completed our research.
Cool. Memory Alpha. I do not think that is Memory Alpha. But okay, we've got a fair amount of things we can do just running around here. C-class, N-class, D-class. We don't know what any of these are, but that's a pretty good bet that that's going to link through there. Okay, so let's murder some Marquis. Torpedoes. Yep, there I go. He's dead. And our barrels are continuing to move through. Fleet is looking good. Colonization is lagging a little. Economy is doing pretty well. Sounds good.
And now they shall feel the full wrath of the Empire.
Go ahead and grab some more weapon upgrades.
Greythor will be paved with their ashes.
And we should take a look down here.
Another planet is ours.
Okay. Yeah, the next thing is going to be to get another Civi research station, so let's go ahead and get that building. Lovely, that place has been taken.
Hailing frequency. Full power to engines. Prepare.
Oh no, that is done.
Weapons ready.
Alrighty, next stop, Signia Minor.
Speed ahead.
We're gonna need Arctic Occupation. Is that... where is that in the rankings? Arctic. Arctic and Oceanic are nice and easy. Okay, cool. And we do have our second one coming up, so we just need to save up a little bit of cash. Let's sell some tret. Let's see. We do want to get our trade network going as well, so let's go ahead and get that research going.
Warp speed.
Aye, sir.
Okay, so these guys have colonization
Warp speed.
and crew extractor, which is for capturing neutral stuff. Which we're going to need for this place. What I'm probably going to do is just divert down here once I've taken this place. Just to take out these guys here, and then the transports can go in and claim those extractors, both for a bit of extra resources and for some advance warning of anyone coming in.
Warp drive.
Speaking of which, basic warp signature detection and ranging equipment. That's going to be useful. So we've used up our all of our economy stuff. So we've got a Hideki scout coming in. Yeah.
And now they shall feel.
And if you compare this guy to the D4, D4 has got way more firepower. This thing is a dedicated scout, but the D4, in an emergency, can be pressed into combat. Speaking of pressing things, we should press these buttons here. Lovely. And we need disruptor platforms. Everything is super dead here.
Weapons ready. Increase power to engines.
Yes, sir.
Oh, hello.
Lock disruptors.
See if we can kill that Hideki. It's probably gonna get away. Yeah. Free and clear. Let's go ahead and colonize this place then.
Increase power to engines.
So apparently we can actually terraform this thing eventually. Terraforming is something we've mentioned a couple of times, but we've never actually got far enough into the game to get it to happen. Here we go. You can basically force a planet to change into a different...
Duty and honor. Move.
We have completed our research.
Open.
There we go. That's that done. So now we head over to Oceanian 2. There are no no resources here. We have no logistics slots. This is just tactical. So this is pretty much just a forward base of operations and a place that we can drop defenses around.
Structure.
I mean, we need some of those, so could be worse. Yep, second disruptor platform. We do actually have our trade network research done, so we should look at working on that. We're going to need a logistics upgrade here, though. And how much do the actual things themselves cost? 750, 100, 125. Okay, we can sell
Better be over soon.
a bit of tret. And then we need... yeah, let's just wait for the credits to build up. Gonna need to finish the research there anyway, so...
Structure.
okay, here we go.
Structure complete.
Prepare to destroy the enemy.
Okay, so you can see we've taken a little bit of damage here and there, but not a great deal. There goes that Marquis Raider.
Full power.
Let's kill
to
this one.
weapon.
And go in and take a look at our Borrells in action.
Development.
Lovely. Okay.
Lock torpedoes.
And the next one.
We have completed our research.
Take out the Wanderer.
Full power to
I'm
weapon.
just taking things out with one pass at this point. We've got a lot of firepower at our disposal.
Structure complete.
Okay.
Structure complete.
Lovely. That's not quite everyone dealt with.
Open hailing.
Let's take a wing over here to kill
They
those
will
guys.
die well.
The rest can deal with that interceptor. There we go. I'm not sure what design this is actually based on, but there's a... There we go. Okay,
Prepare for battle.
and just focus fire on the interceptor. Let's tell our transport ships to
Duty.
head in. That interceptor is taking huge amounts of damage. And it's probably, yeah, it's dead.
Open
Is it
hailing
dead?
frequency.
It's not quite dead. There we go, now it's dead. Okay, so our next target is going to be Freehaven.
Increase power to engines.
And we're actually going to
Complete.
just form up here, because I want to get a victory feast up, just to heal up all of the shield damage in particular that we took. Okay, we have the resources to get a trading station up here, so let's get that underway. And then we are going to need to get a logistics upgrade here, another Sto'vo'kor station, logistics upgrade here, another Sto'vo'kor station, Sto'vo'kor? I think it might actually be pronounced Sto'vo'kor.
Warp speed.
Alright, well, either way, that's going to get our initial trade network going nicely. How are we doing? We've edged ahead in colonization again, and we're sitting pretty nicely overall, so I guess we will see what happens. Priorities are going to be taking Freehaven and Haley, so we're going to need to get our Arctic occupation going.
Development finished.
Let's see, that's expedited permits.
Structure complete.
I'm gonna save my resources. I've got a fair amount I need to spend.
Ready to colonize. Ready to colonize.
You should go capture that one. And then we just need to get that one as well.
Prepare.
We are... yeah, we're moving into position. And then we can get our victory feast going. And that should get up the Tang up to level 2. And we can get our fun little bird of death spawner.
Open hailing frequency.
Okay, so, yeah, let's go ahead and trigger victory feast.
I have never been disappointed at the prospect of a great battle.
Okay, so we have the risk of pirate raids now. You can see that everything's disabled, but they've got massive shield regen boosts. Fleet should be in pretty good shape. But this does last for 25 seconds, so apart from the fact that it completely disables you, you do not use this in the middle of combat. Because that is a long time to be disabled, and the heals are nice, but they're not going to save you in a major fight. Which is basically how the ability is designed. It's a really interesting one. Let's see, we've got...
We have completed our research.
yep. Shields regenerating nicely.
Duty.
And that's grabbing the last
A
one.
large fleet is moving
Excellent.
into the system.
Okay, so here comes our first real challenge. We have pirate raiders coming in. My expectation is they're going to come down here, which means they're either going to hit Jamaris or Signia Moina. So we're going to have to potentially deal with that. So we're going to get some additional disruptor platforms, just to make sure that these places hold. Lovely. Worst case scenario, we take a bit of damage and might have to go and rebuild stuff because they don't start dropping planetary bombardment ships this early. So let's head to Freehaven. I don't think we need our fleet in order to handle this. And I also want to get our Sto'vo'kor station building. We're going to queue that up after our disruptor platforms are done. I am also... let's go ahead and grab quick energy capacitors. And a couple more support things there. Lovely. Alright, so our attack fleet has moved over here, and we have a fairly large number of pirate ships to deal with, or militia ships technically. But we have a lot of upfront firepower, and they're kind of spread out, so we can do a lot of damage before things really start getting messy. Okay, we can actually colonize Haley now, so that's something we can look at doing. Magnetic clouds. Ability disabled, passenger generation disabled. Shield mitigation is awful, and chance to hit is reduced. Okay, so that's not a place you want to fight in. And there are also no actual mineral asteroids in there, so that's a thing. How are we doing? Okay, they're building up, including their defenses, which I find a little scary because we are talking about the Dominion here. We do have the Chitangas level 2, excellent, so let's go ahead and grab Call to Battle. Alrighty, so somewhere...
We have completed our research.
Okay, it should have spawned some fancy new ships somewhere here. Yeah, here we go. The Nojubith. Nojubith? I can't speak Klingon. But these are, considering you get... no, you only get one of them. You get more of them at later levels, but this is a pretty mean piece of equipment. It's got a lot of damage output. And it's not super tough, but it's still tougher than the Katingas, which are kind of the benchmark for Klingon resilience at this point. So having one of these running around is a pretty big deal. There we go. And that would be that. And the other one is also ranked up, so go ahead and grab Call to Battle for that one as well.
Open hailing frequency.
And colonize Freehaven. Now, Call to Battle lasts for 70 seconds, which is nice, and they're not warp disabled or anything. They can actually travel around with you. But as a rule, you want to have those ready to go as abilities, not actually just hangers-on.
A large fleet is moving into the system.
Alright, someone is approaching Signia Minor. They're going for this place. Cool. So, we are going to get our ring of disruptor platforms and drop a Sto'vo'kor station.
Weapons ready.
Why do we have a D4 just hanging out here? Okay, whatever. You should go scout. In the meantime, let's get our fleet on the move. We have an Arctic world to claim.
Increase power to engines.
They have sent in precisely 2 wanderers. And our disruptor platforms are not having any of it. You can see that they do a fair amount of damage.
Structure complete.
Especially considering
A large fleet is moving into the system.
Okay, no, so they do have a fairly long firing cycle, a fairly long reload cycle, but it's mitigated by the fact that they fire a lot of shots. So it's an interesting blend between DPS and burst. Okay, so we do want to get the D11 research, I think. Not necessarily because we want to build D11s, but because we're going to need them eventually.
The enemy.
Hello. You made a mistake. Yeah, the local militia apparently made a mess of the pirates, which always amuses the hell out of me. Let's go ahead and grab emergency facilities in these 2 places, just in case. Let's see. Yeah, let's hold off. Let's grab emergency facilities here, though. Alright, so 4.9 trade income. It's okay. It'll get bigger. Let's see. Yes, we do get orbital refineries up there. And this is dilithium things. We've got 4.3 and 3.5, so not doing too badly, not really particularly imbalanced one way or the other. Generally, your dilithium is going to be lower. Your dilithium income is going to be lower than your trade, unless you've got a really weird map layout, and in general that's the way you want it to be. Dilithium mainly gets used for research. Like if you do have a surplus of dilithium, there's usually some kind of ships you can build which will take advantage of that. And you can also just throw a bunch of money into research. Alternatively, you can sell it. That is always an option. Though not necessarily one you want to overuse. Like I do trade resources around a lot. But it's not necessarily the most efficient thing to do because there's always going to be a loss of some kind. Like if you have to buy trade currently, that costs you 500 credits. If you want to sell it, it's about 250.
A large fleet is moving into the system.
Hostile forces are on the move. Oh, hello.
Scouts have found a colonizable.
So yeah, they have some brain ships running around, making a nuisance of themselves. Scythes, if you recall, can actually bombard planets, so that's something to be aware of. But we do have we just got upgraded planet health, and we do have 4 disruptor platforms, which will make a nice little mess of things if they try to, if it comes in and actually tries to do anything. I'm a little nervous back here though, so I am going to just load up on disruptor platforms here, just get the full set of 4, might as well. We have 1 Marauder and 1 Wanderer left here. Not super worried about that. Someone is coming. Oh, he just bugged out. He's having none of it. And we did actually colonize this place. Do you need to worry about that? No, the Marauder is not moving to bombard, so let's just go ahead and start getting our upgrades together. There we go, lovely. Yes, this is going to be kind of interesting to try and defend because it's both prime pirate raiding territory because of its position, but we also have the risk of people coming through the other way. The fact that we have a scythe here confirms that there is a link this way. Interesting, that's actually a marquee base, not just a class D. That's something to bear in mind. Because if they had to go through the pirate base, that scythe would never have made it. It's really that simple.
Structure complete.
So let's go ahead and grab a ring of disruptor platforms, just cover all our angles. Then we want to horribly murder the scythe. He's changed his mind about wanting to come this way. I don't blame him. Okay, we do need to get some more research going though, because we're a little starved for research. I've got our Tiger Core station coming up there. Let's start working on another martial research. That brings us up to 3. And we do need to get some logistics, so we can grab another one here. Let's just check what upgrade give us. That's always something worth checking before you build a new science station. So 3 civi gives us our culture research.
Planet development finished.
That's corrosive, which doesn't really help. Need to get all the way up here for toxic. If we go for military, we're getting shield boosts. We finally get access to cloaking devices. We've got that. We've got more phaser damage boosts. Improved power diversion for more efficient strafing runs. We get the cavort, and we get the fickler. If we go another rank, that gets us the D7 Katinga refit, the Vorcha, the Komaval, some torpedo research. Our first things here. Yeah, I think I want to go for another military lab. Seems like a good plan to me. So, fleet. What's the fleet want to do? Fleet wants to have a victory feast. Then we're going to get a Tiger Core station. And then we want to find somewhere to start building warships. And I think getting a basic factory here is probably not a bad plan. I'm going to shove it on this side, because I am a little more worried about the prospect of a Dominion attack force. Let's see how we're doing. Oh boy, yeah, they're catching up. We've got a small lead in colonization, but their fleet is getting bigger and nastier, so we should look at getting a logistics boost. Yeah, it's a real shame that this is a Class R. It's going to be a while before we can actually do anything with that. I mean, we will eventually, but like I said, not for a while. Okay, I'm actually going to get... okay, so more pirates is whatever. Going to get a civi research thing here, so we can start working towards that. We're gonna make this the episode where we terraform something, so you can actually see how that works. Fleet is done partying. Yeah, looks like it. Close enough, anyway. So we're going to move down here. We have a single Decora to kill, which is, it's whatever. We can deal with the Decora. They're kind of nasty, but we have a pretty sizable fleet here. We're going to start building some new ships. Let's see. Spirits for 4 hours. Yes, that one. So what do I want to do? Let's take a quick comparison. So we've got the Cavort is going to become available, which is just kind of twice as scary as the Burrell in every single way. I think I'm going to grab the improved power diversion just to help our existing Burrells.
Warp speed.
Okay, no, that's just that's parts launched. Okay. Defense labs. I want to go ahead and grab the hangar defense tech. I think we're going to want proximity mines as well, because mines are fun.
We are ready. Ready for battle.
And grab some more rate of fire bonds for our turrets. Okay, and then we have our Decora to kill. Let's see how this guy does. This is going to be the toughest ship that we've actually faced so far. Okay, so he's pretty much down to half shields already. And all of our ships are scattering. Borels come round for a pass. Yeah, so it's a little hard to tell because the attack runs in Sacrifice Vendals tend to be a little larger. Someone's coming. It's a scythe. How cute and how annoying. That is not done. This one is done. Or will be. Yeah, there we go. We need to get a boost to these so we can get more, both so we can get more construction ships and so we can build more stuff in general. Now this guy's dead.
Weapons ready.
We have completed our research.
Okay, we're gonna move over here
Increase power to engines.
because we can't colonize this place. We just don't have the tech. We want to keep moving. What's the scythe doing? He's just hanging around there, which makes me nervous. I'm going to drop a hangar defense here, which gets us two things. It specifically says that the Qatar fighters are good against siege frigates, so this seems like a good deal. Because that's what we seem to be facing at the moment.
For battle.
You should try and kill that scythe. Okay, otherwise, we should get our cloaking devices, just so we have a fun extra toy available to us. Parts have arrived at Freehaven. Interesting. But we do have our quad defense turrets here. They are just marquee, so I'm not super worried. That said, we should look at getting some more upgrades for this place.
Planet development finished.
Sell some dilithium, because we're actually doing pretty well with dilithium. Let's grab some additional stuff there. Grab ourselves a hangar defense here. Do that. And we're gonna go ahead and grab ourselves a shipyard here, just so we've got some repair abilities available to us.
Scouts have found a colony.
Oh, hello. Alright, so we have officially found the enemy fleet. They have galores, they have a whole bunch of stuff. I don't see any capitals there. Kamal and a Hideki.
Weapons ready.
Kamal's gonna die horribly.
Fire disruptors at will.
This might be where we have to draw the line.
And now they shall
Okay,
feel
Marquet
the
coming that
full
way.
wrath of the Empire.
Okay, we literally cannot hold this place. We just don't have the ability to do so.
We have spotted the enemy.
So the question is, do I pull back here? And I think the answer is probably yes. Unfortunately. We do have a lead in colonization, so we can afford to pull back on expansion a little bit, just focus on grabbing what we have. But, well, that has some awful modifiers on it. Huge dilithium processing plant. Wow, that is some serious dilithium extraction. No wonder our dilithium income has gone through the roof.
A large fleet is moving into the system.
Okay, yep, they have arrived. And I could probably take this fleet, but I don't. I'm feeling a little cautious. I've run into problems just going in Hail Mary before, and I don't want to do it again.
We have spotted the enemy.
So let's pull out of here.
Proceeding to warp.
Just consolidate our forces and our capabilities a little bit.
Hmm.
Let's grab our Fakler Fakeler class. Oh, interesting. Fakelers actually have some anti-Borg stuff. I'll have to bear that in mind. We should get the Katinga refit, just so our D7s are that bit nicer. So we've still got a few of them.
Open hailing.
Let's just murder these scythes. For having the temerity to come too close to me. There we go. That's a few fewer things to worry about.
To weapons.
Disruptor platforms are looking good. You can see that they've already had that rate of fire boosts. What do I want to do? Let's get some boosted hull designs.
Development finished.
Superior repair bots. That's mines, boarding parties. Let's grab the cavort. Okay.
Yes.
And yeah, you can see here we have a new ability on our Barrels, Attack Run. Which is pretty expensive, has a pretty long cooldown, short duration. But wow, 2 armor, massive weapon cooldown boost, frontal damage reduction, and a huge boost to mobility. So if you combine these two, like we do not have the antimatter to be able to support that kind of thing. That's ludicrous. But yeah, we cap out at 20% boost, where we're gonna have trouble actually maintaining a bunch of these abilities. So I wonder if the L24 might actually do something. So let's go ahead and get the research for that. We've got a couple of the Dominion fleet is coming in.
Structure complete.
Let's go ahead and murder them. Just need to be a little bit careful of the jammy frigates ramming us, but that's more of a problem if you've got like a force which is more reliant on single powerful ships. Oh, our Katinga research is actually finished, so yeah, you can see they have additional phaser banks now, which is kind of like but every little helps. We can't use the ion torpedo yet. We need rank 6. But I'm gonna grab myself another rank of Call to Battle, which reduces the cooldown time, the antimatter cost, and boosts the duration. Yeah, and they're coming in piecemeal, which means that I'm just ripping them to bits. But I'm a little nervous because we are taking a fair amount of damage to our shields. Do have our shipyard up, so I'm actually going to pull us back, get us back under our shipyard. We can let our upgraded birds of prey do their thing. Divert some attention, and just get back here to repair range. So this is interesting. Klingon ships are highly resistant to boarding efforts. I'm not sure if that's just for being within range of a shipyard or what, but it's a nice trick. Okay, so repair is underway. We want to get ourselves a second shipyard, second factory. Five squadrons are not doing much. Zoom in here. These just have basic pulse disruptors. Okay, that's fine, I guess. They are moving in for an attack.
Crush them.
I think I'm gonna trigger Victory Feast. It's gonna make us a little helpless, but it's going to get all of our ships, just make sure that all of our ships are in perfect condition. I'm going to get us a... Let's mob up on barrels, actually.
A large fleet is moving into the system.
We know they work pretty well. We do have... We're about to have 2 shipyards, so we can really pump them out. Do you have anything to increase shipyard build rate, actually? We might do. Seems like a rather Klingon thing to do. We do want to get our starbase construction, and let's get a range boost for our disruption turrets. Otherwise, let's see, yes, install our networks. We want to get our culture going. That's structure build rate, which is slightly different. Still kind of want it though, so we're going to get a rank of that.
A large fleet is moving into the system.
Okay, fleet is looking good. They just keep sending more ships in, which I guess makes me nervous. They do actually have a capital ship now. They have a Keldon. We want to focus this thing down if we can.
This is our finest hour. Weapons ready.
Okay, fleet is looking good.
Increase power to engines.
Yeah, we have our barrels coming up pretty quickly. I'm actually going to switch production over to D7s.
Greythor will be paved with their ashes.
Because they build quickly. That's basically all it comes down to. We can get them out rapidly.
Prepare for battle. Increase power to engines.
Let's not move too far away from our shipyards.
Open hailing frequency.
We want to lure them in.
Speed ahead.
Crush them.
Okay, turn around, kill that galore.
This is our finest hour. Weapons
See, we actually have 3 of these birds of prey now. Alright, focus fire on that galore, because we want to try and break up their formations, and if we kill their command ships, that's the way you kill Gemmy fleets.
We have completed our research.
Okay, looking good, looking good. Rakesh, yeah, Rakesh is down. We have another rank here. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get another rank of Call to Battle, so we can just max out the number of, there's a D10s, why are we building D10s?
Victory awaits us.
Oh, we're not building D10s, they're just confused.
full power to
Right, because these are technically anti-fighter frigates, so anti-fighter frigates often get a little confused if you tell them to fire at things which aren't fighters. It's dumb. It's something that we can't really do much about. It's just
weapons ready.
part of the base game. Okay, we have very thoroughly murdered their fleet. So now we can start pushing out again.
Open hailing frequency.
So let's head for Memory Alpha and take that down.
A large fleet is moving into the system.
Pirate Raiders have launched, of course they have. Why wouldn't they have launched? Let's get a rank of emergency facilities. And let's get rapid development. And yeah, that'll do. Okay, remote construction, deep space trade, auxiliary government. Okay, we definitely want auxiliary government. And if we come over here, we want to get a starbase constructor going, because we want to drop one right here. Alrighty, looking good, looking good. Let's trade some resources,
We have completed our
and check our
research.
overall situation. We have
Completed our research.
some space to build things. So I'm gonna build some infrastructure.
Planet development finished.
That gets us up to 4-4. I believe that's full up, yep. I'm gonna drop a broadcast center here so we can start working on our culture.
Proceeding to warp.
This place has logistics slots available, but we're a little short on resources, so just hold off on that for now.
Prepare for battle.
Okay, how much does it cost to actually set up a starbase? We can do that pretty cheaply. So let's drop that guy down here. Just remember from our Romulan episode, a starbase, if you've got enough support for it, can be a pretty mean force multiplier, but you kind of need to get it there first. But we've got it next to 2 shipyards, we've got a bunch of turrets, we've got some hangars. Looking pretty good. Okay, here we go. We have found the edge of Dominion space. We have a single orbital weapon platform here, but it has token shields basically. So what do I want to do? We're going to focus down on that Nor type station because that's actually the biggest threat in the area. Just to the founders, I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's our research station. I was getting a little confused as to which one is the research station and which one is the booster for these things, but it has, yeah, that's dying horribly just from our nodges. Our nodges are doing well. Okay, so yeah, you can see that we're taking a bunch of damage here because Nor-type stations are terrifying. See that it's firing out all of its plasma torpedoes, which don't actually count as weapons, which means you can't really turn them off, or debuff them, or do anything. They just do damage to you, and it sucks. That orbital weapon platform is about to die, so let's tell our capital ships to commence bombardment of Memory Alpha, and we can start claiming this place. Excellent. This is what we like to see.
This is Strike Leader.
Okay, and we have our starbase is ready to go. So first things first, we want to get auxiliary government, just to make things that little bit harder for anyone who comes in and tries to mess with me. Create some resources, which means the next priority is structural reinforcement. We want to get this as tough as possible because the ability to be immune to bombardment doesn't help if the starbase is really squishy. Okay, so we've taken out everything. We just need to finish bombing the hell out of this place, then we can colonize it. Speaking of such things, we should get some scouts out. 4 scouts, that should be plenty. So does of course mean that this is going to turn into prime a prime target for the for pirates, but what can you do? Now we are sitting on 4-4. Oh yeah, so we're getting another Marshall lab here.
A large fleet is moving into the system.
Someone's approaching Freehaven. Yeah, we got pirates. Which is whatever. We have some space for logistics. So actually going to sell some dilithium and go for an infrastructure lab. Because like I said, we want to try and get some terraforming going.
For the Empire. Another planet is ours.
Lovely. We have claimed Memory Alpha, which is, wow, that has some terrible stuff going on. Alright, let's get all of that up and running and start building disruptor platforms. Double quick. You can see that has a buff to structure build time, so that is the thing which we get from colonizing a capital ship as the Klingons, so you can get stuff up and running pretty quickly. It's an interesting variation compared to the some of the other buffs of getting more construction ships, for example, which means you can get more things up. Okay, so that galore is noping out.
Structure complete.
You need to search around for things.
Just show me where.
Structure complete.
Mev, just show
Okay.
me where.
You guys are going through the pirate base, which seems really stupid. I can't tell you to cloak up because Your antimatter is going to die when you warp, and the cloaking devices for Klingons are not cheap.
Prepare for battle.
A large fleet is moving into the system.
We should grab all of those things.
Weapons ready.
Excellent. Okay, here they come. They're not happy, and they want that place back. And I forgot to trigger a victory feast. I feel stupid. But we have a pretty decent fleet, and our ships are in pretty decent shape overall. So
Full power.
let's go ahead and take out these Dominators. Okay, I've got some Virulent as well.
Structure complete.
Okie dokie.
Planet development finished.
This is why you don't want
Engage impulse.
D10s,
Full power.
because they're really stupid.
Lock disruptors.
Come on, open fire. Okay, that Virulent got lost, so we might be able to take it down. Yep, there it goes. Cool. Oh, and we have a random D4 here as well. You know, actually I have a feeling that the D4s might spawn as part of our colonization. Which would be kind of an interesting take on colony boosts, but there are a lot of unusual ones in Sacrifice of Angels.
On my way.
Okay, lovely. Our starbase is looking good.
We will not be moved. Ready all weapons.
Of course you won't be moved, you're a starbase. Okay, go ahead and grab some phaser banks,
Scouts have
to
found
make it a
an
little bit
alternate
scarier. But we've got one more rank of structural reinforcement. I believe that with the 030 government and all of these maxed out, we will have one slot left over, which we're probably going to put into... I'm not actually sure. It's an antimatter boost. That's hangars. That's trade.
Planet is under
We can think about it.
structure
Ope.
complete.
Oh, shit. That would be the Dreadnought over my home world. This is gonna suck. Okay, so we basically need to do over 150 DPS.
There is no further profit in attacking an empire.
While dealing with the insane damage output this thing has. Alright. Which means we probably want to get bigger ships to try and do that. Let's go ahead and start building cavorts.
Structure complete.
Where are you going? You're probably going after the other defense platform, because that's how it rolls. The way that the shields, the antimatter drains on there is really interesting. I'm not sure what that's about.
I yearn for battle.
Okay, so we have
I am honored to serve by your side.
We have the Cavort, and it has all of the same fun powers as the Burrell. So let's go on our attack run, see what we can make happen. I'm really not sure. I suspect the antimatter drain thing might be like a timer.
Structure complete.
Okay, so even with all of our buffs stacked up, it regenerated our damage almost immediately.
I yearn.
We have a second covort now. God, that's just a sickening amount of regen. I've lost track of what's going on over here. Is there anything interesting going on over here which matters? Not really. Okay, fine. Let's get a broadcast center going. Just make life a little bit more interesting for them. Yep, 2 of them is not enough to make things happen. It's about to run out of antimatter, though. What does that mean?
I yearn for battle.
No, seriously, what does that mean? That's not draining 10 per second. Like, I don't know what you're on about. That's had 20 antimatter for forever. Now it's regenerating antimatter. Oh, but it's lost... It's lost its shield regen. So now our covorts are chewing it apart in pretty short order, actually. Antimatter is... It's regenerating pretty quickly, but every time it tries to reactivate its shields... things go badly for it. Because it just immediately drains itself dry and then dies. Okay, we have lost a covort rather. I could do without that, but it is down to hull. And we're about to get another one come in. Fresh and ready to kill. Come on. Kill it.
A large fleet is moving.
Okay, that's not good. Its regeneration powers are back up. Come on. Let's kill building covorts. We're so close to killing this thing. This is maddening. Okay, come on, just keep moving. We've got other stuff we can be doing, so let's get ourselves some more labs over here, because labs are good. Lovely. That gets up to 6 and 4, and we have lost most of our logistics here, so as soon as we have taken out this bloody dreadnought... okay, so it's drained dry, but we've lost most of our covorts. I'm actually going to take it off building covorts. Mob up on D7s. Those will build quicker, and we can focus more fire onto it.
Victory awaits us.
Okay, you can build a thing, and a thing, and the rest will come back to.
Victory awaits us.
Lovely, those are coming out nice and quick, every 18 seconds. This is what we like to see. Okay, that is an oceanic world, which they were trying to take a while ago. Let's grab some upgrades. Give me some hangar defenses. Hangar defenses are fun.
We cannot build there.
There we go. Lovely. Okay. Give me a warship factory.
Victory awaits us.
Okay. Tiger Core, maybe?
Structure complete. Structure complete.
How's our fleet looking? Our fleet is doing things. Okay, we have a bunch of Barrels, a bunch of Katingas. Alright, yeah, let's head over to Farius. Start working on oceanic colonization.
Structure complete. Planet development
Improved
finished.
domes. How are we doing over here?
Victory awaits us.
Okay, you're actually going to pull back because I want this thing to get in range of my disruptor batteries.
Victory awaits us.
We are victorious.
What? No, seriously, what the hell?
Planet development finished.
What?
Victory awaits us.
Did they die to an NPC event?
Structure
Like, that
complete.
is
Weapons ready.
embarrassing. I have no idea what could have happened there. Looks like they weren't getting attacked by pirates,
Victory
and
awaits us.
did they just get hit by a dreadnought of their own or something? Okay then.
My crew is
Like, I have no idea what to do with that information. I have never seen that happen before. That's weird as hell.
We are ready for battle.
Okay, well, we will wrap this episode up here then.
We have completed our research.
And because this was a oddly disappointing marathon, you will be getting a bonus episode today. Aren't you lucky? We have at least a basic idea of how the Klingons function. They're a blunt instrument. You don't have to play around with alpha strikes and attack runs and all that kind of thing like you do with the Romulans. You don't have all the carefully layered support and tough individual ships of the Federation. You don't have the flat-out brokenness of the Borg, and you don't have the massive layers of coordination and interactions of the Dominion. Klingons are, in a way, probably one of the easiest races to play. But that doesn't mean they're bad by any stretch of the imagination. They can do a huge amount of damage. I'm so close to killing this dreadnought. This is really annoying. But yeah, that was a really strange episode. I will see you. Well, you will see me rather
Fleet is moving into the
later
system.
today
Crush them.
with whatever fun thing I decide to entertain you with.
We have completed our research.
Yeah, so until then, folks, stay safe.